Can I help you?
Yeah, a young woman came in here about 3 months ago looking for a missing person.
Aaron Smith.
That's right. Aaron and Cliff are my children.
You're Mr. Smith.
Mr. Hudson, would you please explain to me the extent of your involvement in this matter?
Aaron came to me to help her figure out what happened to Cliff.
Hello? You're the detective, right?
Is that still written on the door?
Yes.
Well, I guess I'm playing detective today. Let's see. So what can I do for you?
My name is Aaron Smith, and I'm looking for my brother, Cliff. He came down here about a year ago, but we haven't heard from him in 3 months. I'm hoping you can help me find him.
How old is Cliff?
25.
Have you checked with the police?
Yes, I have. I filed a missing persons report, but nothing in their records matches his description, so they said there's nothing they can do to help me.
How do you know he just doesn't want to be found?
Cliff would never do that. He was the baby of the family, and he absolutely depends on our father. I mean, he speaks to everyone in our house, and up until a month ago, we heard from him every day.
Well, what was he doing here?
He was a painter. He had this fascination with the city and this romantic idea of painting on a street corner in the American Bohemian. He kept saying that New Orleans is America's cultural haven, the bridge between the old and the new. He spent a semester in Paris, but he didn't like the idea of having learned French, so he came back here. Do you know my father encourages every adventurous whim? He even gave him a small amount of money so that he could stay here and keep a roof over his head every month. When he first moved here, I came down for a week, and he was so excited. But this was just another city, as far as I'm concerned.
You must be a country girl.
We actually grew up in the city. My father was a CEO, but around the time we were in our teens, he retired early because he wanted to live that organic lifestyle that every old hippie dreams of living. I loved it. It was so beautiful and quiet, and I could see the stars at night. When I was 16, Daddy bought me a horse. But Cliff, he never really liked animals. He just always had to be where the adventure was.
Well, there's plenty of adventure out here for a guy his age.
Yes, I'm sure. Here, this is his information and a picture.
Looks like a smart kid.
Yeah, as do you. I'm hoping you can help me find him. Despite the lack of experience your youthful appearance would suggest, you came highly recommended by the detectives on duty.
Well, the New Orleans Police Department doesn't have a very good reputation. Now, let's just say I do what I can to make them look good. And in exchange, they funnel over any profitable cases they may find that aren't worth their time.
Is that how you think they feel? Like this isn't worth their time?
Don't be offended, ma'am. Grief is something you'll have in common with all the people in this community. The authorities are more concerned with making a profit than they are with making a difference. Erin came to me to help her figure out what happened to Cliff, but there wasn't much I could do in the matter. So she got mad and she left.
Aaron's disappearance was the final nail in my coffin. Whatever I was, whoever I was, is gone. The man talking to you right now is dead, buried. I have no heart.
I'm sorry for your loss.
When the investigation failed, when you failed, I decided to put together my own team and come down here and find out what happened to my children.
Did you?
Oh yes, I did. And it's quite a significant story. But there's a lot of inconsistencies. I need some confirmation.
Confirmation.
Details. I need them verified. If anything, for my own sake. Mr. Hudson, tell me, what did you and Aaron talk about, and why was she so damn angry?
While investigating the facts of Cliff's disappearance, I came across a young woman who had information in the matter. Hello?
How did you find out where I lived?
The bouncer.
Those guys aren't allowed to give out private information.
Well, I told him I was working for your mother, and apparently he has a soft
My
heart.
mother's dead.
Sorry to hear that. How did she die?
I fucking killed her. Now what do you want?
Ginger, I need to know where she lives so I can search her place for clues.
We're not gonna find anything because you're not searching anything.
And why is that?
Because she lived here and I'm not letting you do any of that shit.
Where are her things?
I put them in a box and threw them out.
I guess you weren't expecting her back. You know, this is quite a surprise and all. You being Ginger's roommate and all that shit. Why didn't you tell me before?
Because you didn't need to know.
Of course I needed to know. I'm a private investigator.
I'm not talking to you anymore.
What are you afraid of?
Being killed, motherfucker, and you should too.
Killed by who?
You need to leave or I'm going to call the cops.
Is that who you're protecting? The police?
Get the fuck out! Fucking asshole.
Hey.
Hey. So, what's the word? Where have you been all morning?
Just following a few leads.
What kind of leads?
Well, the police don't have a report on your brother's missing girlfriend, so I went back to the club and found out where she lives.
What did you find there?
Nothing really, just a roommate, but I don't think she's gonna be any help.
Why not?
Because she's afraid of something.
Afraid of what?
I don't know.
How can you not know? Can't you make her talk or something?
I'm not a police officer or an enforcer, and no one has to talk to me.
Then why don't you get the police involved?
I don't think the police are gonna do anything.
And why not?
Because the police are not interested in this case.
That's bullshit. How can they not be interested? It's their job to be interested.
They're not gonna do anything. Don't you get it? Don't you know where you are? Don't you know how much crime gets committed here every day? Some of it by the police force themselves. So you think they care about some no-name artist and his stripper girlfriend?
He's not some no-name artist. He's my brother.
Yeah, well, he's gone now. He's probably not coming back. So the best thing you can do is just go home and forget about this.
No. I won't do anything. I won't leave until I find something out. Don't you care about justice and seeing things through the end? This is bullshit.
Aaron,
this is bullshit.
Aaron, these are
You're
vicious.
You're gonna help me find him.
These are
That's what I'm
vicious,
paying
evil
for.
people doing business out here. They probably tortured your brother and drank his blood. And that's what they're gonna do to us if we keep on this.
We can't quit.
Aaron, we have to quit. Otherwise, we're dead. Do you want to die? You're gonna get yourself killed.
Look, just give me the information. You know what? Just tell me
It's not
where
worth
this girl
it.
lives.
It's not worth it. Okay?
You tell me where she
Think
lives,
about your
and
family.
oh fuck you! You don't even know my family. You know what? You give me this information, and I'm gonna go over there and beat the information out of the bitch myself.
Is that all you want? Is that all
Give me
you
the
want?
information. That's what I want.
Okay.
You can't do it. I'll do it myself.
Really? You're gonna solve this all alone? aren't
Well, it's better than just sitting on my ass like what you do all day.
you don't even know what I do all day.
Nothing. That's what you do. Just give me the information.
Okay, fine. Fine. Take it.
Thank you.
Hey, Aaron. Can you cut me a check before you go? I'd hate to not get paid because you got yourself killed.
See if my checkbook's in here. Lucky for you it is.
While investigating the facts of Cliff's disappearance, I came across a young woman who had information in the matter. She wouldn't talk to me. Aaron wanted to take a more aggressive approach, so she went over there and she beat the information out of the girl herself.
That's my daughter.
And then she never came back.
Did you go talk to these women yourself?
I guess I did. What the fuck happened to you?
Your girlfriend shot me. After she beat me up, of course. I would have shot her first, but she was faster than me. And I forgot to load my gun this morning.
Somebody left this at my door this evening.
Is that hers?
Yep.
Well, she's probably dead. Like her brother and Ginger.
I told her this would happen.
Well, some bitches don't listen. Guess this case is closed.
Yeah, I guess it is.
You wanna come in?
Yeah.
And what did you find out? What the hell was the fucking drama all about?
Certain establishments, some of these strippers double as drug dealers and prostitutes. Now, Cliff followed his stripper girlfriend into a bad situation. He went there and found out. She thought she could do something. She went in, she got herself killed as well.
So what was Cliff's situation?
Cliff's girlfriend was moving drugs for some very, very bad people. And one night they lost a whole bunch of it at a party somewheres. But, they went over there to kick her ass, and Cliff, you know, he thought he could be some kind of hero. But he got shot.
Not Cliff.
He was shot. And then his girlfriend stabbed one of them and they killed her too.
Did you go to the police with this, or at least investigate it yourself?
Yeah, I figured as much.
Look, I know your girl. She's a sweetheart. And I know you want to make her happy. But the truth is, the couple's probably off somewhere in Tahiti making babies right now as we speak.
Look, my girl doesn't believe her brother would just take off like that without notifying his people first. He was a happy guy with lots of friends. He talked to people all the time, so for this kind of thing to happen, it's out of the ordinary. So, you know, I have a pretty sick feeling he never left this city.
Oh, really, Detective? Don't you think that if there was a corpse out there, we would have already found it? Could be floating down the river, chopped up into pieces, maybe oozing in a bathtub somewhere. I have none of these things. The couple probably got tied up in some flesh trade, and the girl, that's bad news, man. She got caught up in a bad crew. And you know what happens when you start poking your nose into places where it doesn't belong with that kind of crew? Your sister is going to end up coming in here and filing a missing report on you.
So what am I supposed to do?
Go back to stalking cheaters and bail jumpers.
Great advice. Weren't you the one who told Miss Smith to come to me? Why bother if this is how it's going to play out?
I owe you something. For that thing we're not going to talk about. Look, the way I look at it, you're getting paid to follow a dead-end trail. And you know, maybe you'll get lucky. And then Miss Smith, she can go on with the rest of her life.
It's not going to happen. Some people just don't give up, Johns. And Miss Smith is one of those people. She's going to do this with or without me.
Well, stick with it then. You're getting paid, right? You might as well get paid for doing it. But there's no beating the devil at his own game. You know your limits. You're a nice guy, Dorian. But you don't want to take that trip to the underworld.
Yeah, I know I don't. That's why I'm not sitting where you're sitting behind this desk here, wearing that badge with a number on it.
Exactly. And there's nothing worth your life to know. And there's a choice to make. And that's whether to go on living and to avoid all of those things that lie beyond the gate of truth. Just look at this case. This situation right here. No one gets into it without doing the wrong thing. The dark is the darkest here. We know this. And we know what happens when you start asking the wrong questions to the wrong people.
One of the men who took part in Cliff's murder was a police officer. police officer who not only hangs out with gangsters, but who operates under the protection of city court judges and other high-ranking officials. Corruption here goes all the way to the top. And usually the locals just stay out of the way.
So you were afraid to die, is that it?
You know, in the right light, in the right neighborhood, this is a very safe, beautiful, and culturally enriching city. But in the wrong neighborhood, when you're surrounded by darkness, you either die, physically or spiritually. And that's not for me. I'd rather avoid all that. I encourage other people to do the same. But not many people are interested in low-calorie, abstinent, sobriety, and clean living. It's not why people come here. It's not what makes this city any money.
You know, I first came to this city when I was in the Navy. And I've been back a few times since then, for work mostly, when there's a profit to be made. To be completely honest with you, something I've never been with my family for their whole entire lives. I'm going to share a secret with you. A secret that I have kept in a vain attempt to protect them. Now they're gone. In my business, in my real business that is, I have had the opportunity to develop some loyalties with some men that possess the most tactical and lethal skills. Men who aren't quite so passive as you found out this afternoon. And I did help them. And I did tell him to take it easy with you. Seems I underestimated you. Good show. I understand you. The good guy, all that. I got it. And I understand why the cops won't do anything about it. Fuck, they won't even acknowledge the problem exists. But I do. And I will do something about this. Mr. Hudson, I can look in your eyes and tell that you are an honest man. So, I'm going to be perfectly level with you. If you do not tell me what I need to know, I will consider you in league with my enemies. As such, you will be dealt with accordingly. So, what will it be?
There are the names and locations of everyone involved, as well as their business fronts and all their security officers.
So you are a lawful man after all, aren't you?
Well, as far as the courts are concerned, I'm just some bounty hunter PI with a concealed carry permit. But as far as the natural order goes, I am the law. And as such, I judge these men guilty of murder, conspiracy of every vile sort. They're a despicable lot. I wish they were all dead.
Well, I'll do something about that. You have a good night.
You too, sir. Godspeed.
Hey, Dorian. And you heard the good news?
Yeah, I read the Bible every now and then.
Not that good news. Talking about the house of cards. Someone blew it up this morning.
Well, I don't work for the men, so if you want me to investigate, you're gonna have to pay me.
No one legit's gonna be looking into this one.
So why are you here?
Harold Smith. You know that guy you were looking for? It's his father. Have you seen him lately?